Assalamu alaikum everyone. In today's video, we will try to create an environment in Postman, how we can use environment variables while creating tests, and we will be testing our create HTTP post endpoint as well. Before that, I will change that URL because now the users are available on slash users endpoint, and if I now hit, I should be able to get the results. And why I am doing that, because there is a parallel series going on using ASP.NET 8.0 Entity Framework, and I am developing a complete API using Entity Framework Core. If you are interested, you can check out that into my channel. All right, so that was one change, and we might have seen that one of our previous tests is getting failed because we are expecting array. No, not array. We are getting response time is less than 200 millisecond. Okay, if I hit again, now it's getting passed. Good. All right. So these are the few tests we have created in last video. As I told in the beginning, so let's start by creating an environment. Currently, there is no environment. Why we need environment? Let's assume we have an application currently in development phase and also available in production where live users are using it, and we have a staging environment as well where we used to demo our changes to stakeholders. So for all these three different environments, we can create set of variables where we can specify URLs, the users to test with, and a lot of other environment related things. So for that one, let me click on this icon, the eye icon next to the environment dropdown, and you can see we have environments section, the global section. We will come to globals later on. We can start for now with environments. Let's try to add an environment. I can name it RESTful API testing, and to differentiate it, I can let's name it to dev. This is dev collection, and after that I need to add the URL. Let's name it base URL, and the initial value would be the this URL. We can specify that here, and also let's say increment value as well. And let me save that, and now we can select our environment. It will start appearing in that drop down. Okay, I am selecting that. Now we don't need to specify the URLs here, the base URL. We can just simply use that variable with two curly braces starting, and we can see base URL is coming. And as soon as I hit that, the API tests are running as smooth as previously they were. Okay, so that was the one change. Now we have a specific environment for our API tests, and that was the first change. Second thing is we will be creating a post API request as well today. For that one, I will be creating a new request here. Let's add request and name it create user, and that would be of type post. We will straight jump into the body, then raw, because this is JSON based, so JSON we will be selecting from that drop down, and the at the end the object. So what object we will be passing in the request? Let's copy paste the one from the body, the latest one from the body. Let's copy this one, and we can use this one here, and another braces here, and one curly brace here will be required. Okay, let me improve the indentation. Okay, we don't need to specify the ID because this is auto generated. This is today's user, and inside user address entity we don't need to specify that as well. In the request its name is model, so we need to specify that as well. A would be capital, name N would be capital, and we don't need to specify the extra properties. Seems good. We are now creating a user which has one address line, which is fine. Let's send the request. Nothing happened because we haven't provided the URL. So let's provide the URL and send the request. So in the return, we are getting status 201 created, which means our record has been created in the API. And if we see now the total count, previously the total count was 8. And if we now hit the URL, we should be getting 9 records. So the ID9 is coming from the backend. All right, so we are able to create a new user through the API request, which is good. Now, which tests will be moved to that call? Let's copy paste all of them and try to update inside that test section in that post API call. So in that case, the response code will be 201 instead of 200 because content is getting created. Status, yeah, so status would be, what would be? Status would be created, I guess. Let's say created, right? Because we can see it's written as here created. Previously it was okay. All right. 200 millisecond, that's fine. Content type header. What will be the content type header? Not sure about it. Okay, let's see what it is. Content type header again. The server information, that's fine. Response. There will be no response coming from the API because only status is coming, so we can skip that one. That test. First object tag, no, there is empty response, no response is coming. So let's try that one again. 4 tests are passing and 2 are failing. The content type related tests are failing because in the headers there is no content type coming from the backend. So that's why it's failing. We can remove those content type related tests from here. Now if we hit, we should have all 4 of the tests getting passed. All right. So now today we successfully added HTTP post endpoint. We have added few tests. First of all, we are checking status, code, then status text, and response time should be less than 200 milliseconds ideal. And the server related information should not be coming from the backend. Currently, we are getting the server information, which is Kestrel. How to hide that information from the backend? For that one, we will need to make few changes in the API. Let me quickly save this one and let's jump into the collection runner. And now today we have 2 requests, and again we will be go with the same configurations. For the iteration perspective, let's try for 2 times and run it. So we can see 23 tests are passed and 1 is failed. So because first time it took some more time than 200 milliseconds, which I think is fine. And if we run again, we should have all those tests are passed. And for particularly now onwards, I have increased the font size because I got a comment that the test code is not visible in the video. So I try to maximize the code size as well. So hopefully that will be fine. So in the next video, we will explore few more tests for HTTP post endpoint, and we'll try to utilize that environments section more because currently it's only the base URL as a variable there. There are various types of variables as well, which we will be discussing in our coming videos. In case of any questions or queries, do ask me in the comments. This whole collection is available publicly and can be accessed through a URL here. I will be sharing that in the video as well.